Poisonrana.
Thank you, Vince! Thank you, Vince!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and we are live.
YouTube.com/postwrestling. I'm all in a flummox. Wow, what a day.
What a night.
We're doing all this again. We just thought we went live, but weren't live.
Yeah, we just recorded 30 seconds.
Now this is the bit where we redo our jokes and laugh.
All right, get ready for this.
Yeah.
We are Braden Davie. We are upNXT. We are the BDE. We are your NXT friends. And we will always be your NXT friends. Whether NXT is run by Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Vince McMahon,
Bruce Pritchard,
the Saudis.
Yeah.
We'll still watch NXT.
We'll still be your NXT
We'll
friends.
still be here.
Through thick and thin. We'll be like cockroaches.
Yeah.
By the time this whole world ends, it will be just us and NXT.
We are recording this Tuesday, January 10th, 10:20 p.m. after NXT went off the air earlier tonight, and the whole pro wrestling world is buzzing over the huge news.
Yeah, it's huge. Jinder Mahal returned to NXT tonight.
Oh my God!
I mean, wow, this
crazy
Tonight show. It reminded me of a Raw after WrestleMania. You know, you had huge returns like Jinder Mahal coming back. We had Tiffany Stratton return.
Crazy.
We had Gallus come back. We had ropes exploding in world title matches.
Absolutely
we had two
crazy.
people win a battle royal. What else could there be to talk about today?
Yeah.
But NXT New Year's Evil.
That's it, and that's the only thing people want to talk about tonight. There wouldn't be anything else to talk about except NXT New Year's Evil, which is just what a momentous night.
So anyway, what have you done today?
I don't know. There's not really anything else going on.
I was at work. Our internet's been down a bit.
Our internet was down too. Yeah, I haven't been on the internet all day. Have you?
No, not really. No.
I haven't been on Twitter in a while. Ever since Elon bought it, I've been a little shaky on there. But let me just go on there for a second. I'm all grown up. This is crazy. Is this insane? By the end of this podcast, maybe we'll learn something. Maybe we won't.
I think, shall we just, to make things easier next Christmas and not put so much on our plate, shall we just record, like, best match ever 2023 and just talk about the Ospreay-Okada match and then the big news of 2023 and just talk about today? Should we just do that?
I mean, we don't know.
And then have a break next
We don't
Christmas?
know. Like, we're recording this right after NXT. We don't know anything except Steve Blackman's going to show up in the Royal Rumble. Triple H is going to AEW. What other outlandish things can I just say?
You had me with the first one.
Yeah. That's bigger than anything. Yeah, that would be huge.
What a crazy day. So, Vince McMahon, we talked all about it on Poisonrana on Sunday. We go live every Sunday at 2 p.m. on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Poisonrana. And things have just been rapidly kind of changing since then. There were the sort of letters that came out with the whole board unanimously being against Vince coming back, and he was a bit like, well, fuck you, I'm doing it. And he's come back. We had some people resign. We had Michelle Wilson and George Barrios come back. And then today... Stephanie McMahon, after saying how excited she was for this opportunity with Vince coming back, resigning and saying, well, she wanted to take a leave of absence earlier last year, and then she came back when Vince stepped down, and well, now she can extend that leave of absence to resigning.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't big enough, then we're seeing, like, as NXT is happening, all these tweets from journalists and stuff.
Pro wrestling journalists, yes.
Saying, oh my god, guys, have you heard what I heard? Because I can't say yet, but
God.
have you heard it? It's big.
Yeah, I can see a few people doing that in the chat right now. We never call ourselves journalists in wrestling. We're just two idiots who love wrestling and talk about it. But then we're still fans. We are still fans at the end of the day. And we talk about wrestling, give our views and reviews and opinions on it and all that stuff. And this is something that's crazy. By the time you're listening to this, big news could have already broke. There could be different things. People online are speculating that yes, WWE is going to be sold or something along the lines that it might not be a public traded company again. There's talks that Triple H is also
done
leaving the company as well, which would just absolutely be crazy. I mean, how much money would Tony Khan have to pay to use U2 Beautiful Day for a great comeback vignette for Terra Rising?
Yeah.
In All Elite Wrestling. We just got Cody coming back to WWE, and now Triple H, if there's no merit to this whatsoever as we're recording.
Yeah, this is gonna be a weird show, because we'll kind of probably start by talking about all the Stephanie stuff, which is stuff we do know at this point, and then we'll get into the review. But if anything's kind of breaking as we're recording, we will talk about it. And
to be fair, we wanted to invite John Pollock on for the first 5 minutes, but he said nothing happens on a Tuesday, so we thought we'd give him the night off.
Yeah.
As so it goes. So we'll fill you in as what we know. So far, what we know: Stephanie McMahon gone from WWE. So that is pretty crazy. When we thought Vince was gone, Vince comes back, and shortly after Steph is gone, there's some things going on.
The fact that whole thing said the board are unanimously against Vince coming back. That includes Triple H. That includes Stephanie.
You're out, Norman.
And I know people keep on comparing it to Succession, but it does feel like that. Like there's a bit of a coup within, and then the old man's like, nah, you ain't fucking me. Right. And it's
that's what got him in trouble, actually.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's crazy. As of 15 minutes ago, Cassidy Haynes of Body Slam is saying that he is told the Saudi deal is done and they're taking the company private. Obviously, we'll want to hear from a lot of sources first, but that does seem to be the rumor.
That Kermit guy on Reddit seems to be saying similar things. So yeah, there's things all over the place. Again, if we we're here to talk about the NXT, but this is some big news if WWE is in fact, if there's any merit to any of these kind of stories.
It does. So, today, I just bought my hotel in Montreal because I'm excited about Chamber, and it does make me feel a bit icky right now with everything going on. Icky. It's like, I was kind of excited in this, Triple H led SmackDown with Sammy being the guy and all that, and it does.
Well, you thought you felt bad when you were watching those Saudi Mania shows? How about watching every WrestleMania as a Saudi Mania?
Yeah. I'll still get a Schwartz, though. That would be nice.
What's Schwartz?
Schwartz, the smoked meat.
Oh, down in Montreal. Yeah.
I'll make John try some poutine.
Yeah. Crazy. When Shane McMahon left WWE, we did a best match ever Shane McMahon. So it's probably only fitting that we do
this February, best match ever, Stephanie McMahon.
Leave the memories alone. Pour one out for Stephanie McMahon in WWE. What are some of your greatest anything involving Triple H, Steph in the original storyline?
I have said before, the thing that I was kind of casually watching wrestling, and then the thing that I was hooked was when Steph turned on Vince at Armageddon.
Just like she did today.
Was it the other way around? I think Vince finally got his own back from Armageddon 99. Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, resigned. Okay. Yeah. You got fired.
What's some other Steph? She's had a lot of moments I didn't enjoy in WWE, to be quite honest.
The match wasn't great, but the Steph Brie Bella thing was pretty fun.
Get out of here.
For SummerSlam.
Her best match is clearly
the tag
with Ronda and Kurt Angle and Triple H. Yeah, that one's pretty good at WrestleMania. Vince versus Stephanie McMahon. That would be a great. That's what we're watching after this show tonight.
Who would have thought?
No Mercy 03.
Watching that match, that Ronda would be the last one left in WWE.
That is ridiculous. Wow. wrestling's crazy.
Yeah.
Like if this, like, there's so much more to get into about wrestling than the actual wrestling. People don't even care about the actual wrestling these days. It's just everything else that's going on in between, outside the ropes. So, yeah, just chaotic. And do we see Stephanie McMahon show up as the mysterious partner on Wednesday Night Dynamite?
Steph partnering Saraya, yeah.
Be
Why
great.
not?
Be great.
I mean, yeah, maybe Britt's line about I'm, the boss. Everyone's thinking, oh, she's name dropping Sasha there. No, it was the boss. It was the boss.
I'm all grown up now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Some people in the chat are giving their Stephanie McMahon memories in WWE. The Chris Leone in the chat says the Triple H Kurt Steph love triangle storyline.
Oh yeah, that
was some
great.
pretty good
stuff.
Yeah. Every Monday Night Raw where Steph would come out and cut a 30-minute promo on absolutely nothing. Those were just great times as well.
Steph owning ECW.
Steph owning ECW.
That was pretty big.
What about Stephanie McMahon single-handedly changing the women's wrestling revolution?
She did that as well.
She did that.
It all
Guys,
full
she
circle
did that.
because Saraya said she was going to do the same thing on AEW, and now they're partnering.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's funny how things work out in the world. But yeah, will we ever see Stephanie McMahon going, oh, that's what, sorry, they aired an ad tonight for the new A&E WWE docs. And there's a Jake the Snake one, but there's a Chyna.
Oh, so Chyna can finally go in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, Steph and Chips are gone. Put her in the Hall of Fame,
All right.
as she rightfully deserves.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Saudi princes are a big fan of Chyna, and they're like, we need to put her in the Hall of Fame. Let's do the right thing. Let's do it. But yeah, wow.
Pour one out, as we do here.
For Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah. Hi everyone. This has been fun. It's not related to the Steph stuff, but we got our first ever super chat.
Wow, we got a super chat?
We did.
Yeah, Wei said whenever we go live on this Post Wrestling account on their YouTube and we get a super chat during the times we are live, he will say that super chat is for us. So we would recommend for all of you right now to give us a super chat, and we'll read it out here. Like Aussie of Steel, who writes in, I actually really liked the ending of the Battle Royal tonight. My guess is Roxanne returns at Vengeance Day, and then Toxic gets the main roster call-up for Damage Control at Mania.
At Mania?
Wow, someone actually wants to talk about NXT.
Yeah.
That feels like a rarity here.
I feel that would be quite soon for Toxic Attraction to be in a big match like a Damage Control at this point.
Right.
But yeah, I do think a call-up is imminent.
Yeah. We'll definitely jump into all the NXT. We could definitely be jumping right back out of it if things are confirmed and all that. But yeah, what a time to be alive. I would advise anyone who wants to follow the story, whether it's broke by the end of the day, the morning, the night, whatever, postwrestling.com for all the updates. John Pollock writes incredible articles. I loved the thing he wrote about Dana White and Vince McMahon this week. I could not go off about that enough. But all the work that everyone does at postwrestling.com, including all the podcasters, the writers, all the articles, everything, go check it out because we got some great people covering all this craziness of pro wrestling. And I speak for Davie and myself that we are gracious to be part of this community. And wrestling's supposed to be fun, but don't we all get real itty excited when things like this happen? Because it's like, it's like a whole... It's like, I don't know.
It's a drama, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is a drama that we're watching. And whether it's all the crazy stuff happening today or just general kind of backstage politics and stuff, it's interesting. It's fun.
Yeah. So thanks, Post Wrestling, and all you postmarks.
you.
And thanks to MJ, who just sent a super chat. He says, Happy New Year and congrats on the launch of Poisonrana. Best wishes. Thank you very much, MJ. Thank you, all of you people. If you do want to hear more of us on Poisonrana on our podcast feed and YouTube, go check it out. We cover all the other stuff in wrestling, including the Vince stuff. We talked about Wrestle Kingdom as well this week with Karen Peterson. That was a fun show we recorded this past Sunday, so go check that out. But you want to hear more of us, go to patreon.com/Poisonrana. It's only $5 a month to be a friend, and you get access to almost 500 podcasts and everything coming out this month, including a two-parter of Best Match Ever 2022, looking at the top 10 matches of the year, plus a Best Match Ever Great Muda, plus a movie review of Battle Royale. We're calling it Japanuary because it's all Japanese wrestling related somewhat and a review of what is the show?
Wrestling Summit from the Tokyo Dome in 1990.
Yeah.
It was a WWF, New Japan, and All Japan crossover show. It's kind of hard to watch it all, so we're kind of just doing some research on this one and finding clips on YouTube. We have put some links on the Patreon. But yeah, this should be a fun chat, a show that I didn't really know ever happened. So thought it would fit into Japanuary quite well. And then, not sticking with the theme, we have an episode of wasNXT, which we just recorded today, where we're talking about the December 4th, 2013 edition of NXT, headlined by... This was the
Neville and Bo Dallas title match.
The NXT title.
Sami Zayn is a super hot babyface back in the day, which is crazy considering the run he's having now. So lots of parallel things. But yeah,
Paige versus Natalia for the NXT Women's title.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet too. So all these podcasts, only $5. Go check us out. We are content creators, and we love to create content for our listeners. And there's all sorts of different things and links and all sorts of stuff. We do a lot of podcasts, but our main money is Tuesday nights, where we talk about NXT wrestling, and I guess that's what we're going to do here tonight.
Yes. NXT New Year's Evil from January 10th, 2023. And NXT, for their kind of specials, always start with like one of their characters sort of basically previewing all the matches of the night. And this week it was Chase U, Andre Chase, giving a class and saying, right, new semester means homework is to watch New Year's Evil. And they're running down all the matches that are going to have. Andre asks whose form of justice will be served. And they're like, Tony D'Angelo, Dijak, serve him justice. One guy says he's looking forward to Dempsey versus Hank Walker. This pisses off Chase and kicks out Marcus, kicks him out the class, and says he doesn't want any of that stupidity around Thea Hale, who will be in the Battle Royal tonight. And Thea's really nervous. And they said, well, the other 19 women tonight don't have what you have, and that's your heart. I believe you can do it. She goes, yeah, I'm going to do it. Let's fucking go.
I love that they love to let them swear but then censor it and Chase U, which adds like a bit of definitely a lot of laughs whenever they do it. But she just, so, we call her Scrappy Deal all the time. That's definitely what she is. Chase U, given the opportunity, they don't have a lot going on this show, but they starting the show kind of leveling it out, explaining everything. I thought it was all right. It was pretty funny.
I thought this was one of the better ones,
yeah.
These kind of opening things. I like them. I think they're fun. We start right away with the number one contenders match for the North American title. We've got Wesley on commentary. It's Tony D'Angelo taking on Dijak. And Tony, who's now more in a bit of a babyface role, is taking it to Dijak immediately. There's then the gun stun, like the Stone Cold drape over the top ropes from Dijak, and both fall to the outside. Dijak then sets Tony D up to run him into the barricade, but Stacks sacrifices himself by diving between Tony and the barricade, so saving Tony here. And then this allows Dijak to just beat the shit out of Stacks. He handcuffs him with a chain, handcuffs him to the turnbuckle, but then turns and then hits a spine buster on Tony D'Angelo. And then this kind of draping, twisting neck breaker from the ropes. Tony D comes back with a spine buster of his own, teases the fisherman suplex, but can't quite get Dijak up, who then comes back with a super kick and high justice, which is his south of heaven, the choke bomb. And this was a great near fall, actually. Tony D'Angelo kicking out right at the last second. I thought the crowd really kind of bit on this one. Stacks then, as Tony's getting up in the corner, Stacks is in front of him and asks, "Can I finish it, boss? Can I do it for you?" And Tony says, "No, you're family." Kisses him on the forehead, but turns around and gets big booted by Dijak and wins.
Yeah, the cyclone boot. I love that move. It looks sweet. Where for some reason, when you spin in the air, it hurts more. Yeah,
it does.
This was pretty funny considering last week where Dijak had this guy handcuffed and it was like Liam Neeson where he was gonna torture him essentially, and then for some reason had a tape recorder recording the whole thing like a talk boy. So it's like a mafia movie where Stacks is freed and then wants to take the bullet for Tony, and Tony's like, no, and then he moves him and then he takes it and ends up losing. There was some good wrestling in between. It was kind of funny, but I enjoyed it for an opening match.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. I'm enjoying this kind of story with Tony and Stax. I think Stax has really been stepping up. And I wonder, do you think this is Tony will now turn on Stax because it ended up kind of costing him the match, or do you think that was him showing he's a full baby face now and he's kind of embraced Stax and said, no, you've done your job?
Yeah, I could see it going either way, but I mean, really, he did kind of cost him the match because he jumped in front. He got in the ring when the ref was like, "Yo, why are you in the ring?" So yeah, there's a gripe there. Maybe we get that eventual match between Stax and Tony. Maybe Stax separates and Tony's no longer a family. I mean, he's really just been the two of them since they lost 2 times. Cole Carter, AEW sensation Cole Carter.
What, the same person?
Yeah, wow. Did you know that?
I thought he was Sting.
No, he wrestled Sting. So yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm interested in seeing Dijak versus Wes. We were thinking they were going to do a triple threat.
Yeah, it definitely seemed built to a triple threat, but I think maybe because they're trying to turn D'Angelo babyface, that they maybe don't want him to mess the dynamic up with Wesley being the baby there. I love, but also don't love because it just makes me laugh. So it's definitely it's so cheesy, but it's the little things that they go, Dijak, your new character is Justice. So you're gonna wear the trench coat, the glasses like the Terminator. Okay, cool. What about your entrance? All right, we'll make it black and white. So the colors changed to that. I feel like Karrion Kross was the last person to do. They're doing loads of funky stuff with people now. It's so cheesy that this guy's big boss man in black and white. But yeah, the match between Dijak and Wes will be great. I think so. I think that would be really, really pretty good. And I could see them going with Dijak. Yeah. We see Toxic Attraction backstage. Mackenzie Mitchell's interviewing them. And JC says it's inevitable that one of them will win. And they'll go on. And it's fitting that it's called Vengeance Day because they will get their revenge, essentially. And Mackenzie asks, well, what happens if it's Toxic Attraction left in the ring at the end? What will happen? And they kind of brush her off and just say, you will hear your winners are Toxic Attraction, saying that they'll both win. Tonight we're both going to win. How many times have you seen that in wrestling where it's like, don't worry, we'll both win it. Do it for us. I love Gigi Dolan's Georgie yellow rain jacket attire and like a cop hat or something like that. Very fashionable. Looks very bright, but nice yellow. It's a good outfit. Yeah. No, they always look pretty great. Well, I thought you hate JC Jane. No, she's growing on you? No, sorry, wow. I'm just a little distracted, just trying to look at everything going on as well as talk about JC Jane, who. Yeah, she's okay. Yeah. Yes, we go on to our next match. It's going to be the Creed brothers taking on Indus Sher, but Sanger comes out on his own and says that unfortunately Veer is not here tonight, but he's willing to go and fight 2-on-1. And Julius says, no, you said the whole time this was about respect and that you want us at our best. Well, how are we going to do that if it's 2-on-1? And from behind, Jinder Mahal attacks Julius Creed, beats him up, and then he gets the mic and says, Sanger and Veer may do this for respect, but I don't. And this is going to kind of continue on later in the night with Jinder. That's right. The big news everyone was waiting for tonight is Jinder Mahal is back, and instead of being on Raw or SmackDown, he's here on NXT. And just people are really excited. It's gonna change everything possibly here in NXT. He got an all right reaction though here. Actually. He did. They popped hard. I know. This is it's this crowd who kind of pop for everything. But I was kind of surprised by it. And I think it will be better for Indus Sher having it as a trio. Yeah. And we'll see. So, I mean, without spoiling, Jinder's going to wrestle later tonight on this very episode. So, yeah. Yes. Shout out everyone in the Twitch chat who is upset that we're talking about NXT and not WWE being sold by the Saudis. If they were here 20 minutes ago, maybe they would have heard that. But is it confirmed yet? I don't know. But I need to know who Jinder Mahal wrestles tonight. So Zaya Brookside's getting married this year. You see, I'm just going through Twitter.
Are you just
Good for her.
scrolling through? What, you
Scrolling.
think Vince is going to put out a tweet being like, sold
Yeah.
millionaire, Vince McMahon's millionaires. What was this thing when he gave out money every Raw?
Yeah.
It's going to be like that. Yeah.
So Jinder's back. More about Jinder later.
Hi, new people in the post YouTube chat, because everyone's tuning in now and they're like, why are these two, who are these two clowns talking about Jinder Mahal and the Creed brothers? Come on.
Sorry, but the New Day were here tonight.
Hey, the New Day were on NXT too. Should we just stop talking about NXT? God.
We've been saying that for years.
If 2.0 didn't get me to stop, I don't know what will, to be honest.
The Saudis, apparently. I don't know.
This whole show is just going to be like that. Just strap in, people.
It's going to age so quickly.
Yeah,
this
will be
unless
not
you wanna
funny
hear
tomorrow.
About Pretty Deadly curling their hair.
I just wanted Disney to buy WWE. I don't know.
I mean, speaking of Disney, we have two Disney princesses here in Elton Prince and Kit Wilson.
In red lace outfits.
They look fantastic.
Wow, pretty.
So they've got rollers in their hair. They're curling their hair.
They're getting ready to look good for their match later up.
Their match. And Kofi and Xavier Woods come in and they're like, yo, what are you doing? Why aren't you out there? And sorry? Well, as Indus Sher versus the Creeds didn't happen, it means you're up next. The Gauntlet match is next. And they're like, oh, my curlers. And then as they run off, the New Day are like, wait, their hair's always really straight. Why are they wearing curlers? But pretty funny. I've enjoyed these segments between these two teams.
They rush to like get ready for the match, considering the match earlier was canceled. So it would work like that. So yeah,
we see Valentina Feroz backstage, who approaches Sanger and asks what he's doing. She's like, Sanger, this isn't you. That's not who you are.
Oh man, didn't we ask for this last week?
Yeah.
We were like, yo, like someone's got to talk some sense into these guys, and it's got to be Valentina. And here she is after a few weeks disappearance. She's like, yo, I know you were the good person. We did yoga. We went to the park.
You did that cannonball. We all laughed.
Yeah, and now you want to beat up the Creeds and you brought Jinder back? Like, what possibly worse could you do?
And Sanger says, this is who I am, standing with my brothers. And then Elektra Lopez comes in and kind of gives Valentina a bit of a pep talk here. She says, they're thinking about themselves and you should do the same. Think about yourself. Because it's 20-woman battle royal tonight and it's every woman for themselves. I kind of like, I feel like on a Raw or a SmackDown, even an NXT, the kind of story that Valentina's was with Sanger for a while would have been completely dropped. They're like, nope, we're changing direction. Sanger's with Veer. I kind of like that. That's still a thing because I mean, this is such a tiny part of NXT, but it's a nice detail, I think.
I will say that's something WWE I don't think has done really well, and when they try to do it, then they beat you over the head with it. Like, hey, remember when we were partners? Then it's like, oh
Exactly.
yeah, okay. Whereas like NXT definitely weaves in the stories through the times, and
Maybe that is credit to how ridiculous we joke about the Monopoly map of like
the
NXT.
the university, the yoga studio,
But
the
the fact
barbershop.
that these characters do all interact backstage, which is, whereas it's often you're all very much in your bubbles in wrestling, whereas I kind of like it's
Would it be
free flowing here.
Would it be too far-fetched to say Valentina should join this stable? Or like, she doesn't seem like it right now, but she could
she
turn.
got eliminated during the break tonight, didn't she? I think.
So
No.
So she could
That's
step
valid.
it up. She could hang out with former WWE champions.
I mean, that's a faction right there. Sanger, Veer, Jinder, Valentina Feroz.
It's gonna change everything.
Yeah,
Book it.
be the JS, the Jinder Appreciation Society. Yulisa Leon will come back. She'll have the Anna J role.
I do miss the Bollywood boys. I wish they were
Get them
more
in it as
featured.
well.
They should be a more featured act in
They're
AEW.
both Sammy Guevara, aren't they?
Yeah. Remember when Randy almost killed them in that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Right. Any news? So, Pretty Deadly come out and they're ready for their Gauntlet match. They said we'll go up against 3 of the top teams in the tag division to prove that we deserve a shot at the NXT tag titles. And, well, they introduced their first opponents, and I think they said their names are Flying Brian Williams and, like, Jumpin' Jackson. It's two jobbers. They're coming out as the Rockers.
Sorry, the Rockers music hit, and I thought I was going crazy for a second. Like, your brain only has so many, like, things that you can remember and keep in there unlocked in this dome of ours. And for some reason, when wrestling themes hit that are super dated, I can still understand what it is. And as soon as the Rockers theme hit, I, like, turned and jumped, almost jumped. Let's be serious. Almost jumped out of my seat.
It's like you in the toilet at Raw where Johnny Gargano's music hit. Freaking out.
Like, the Rockers music hits, and I'm like, sorry, there's no way. Like,
You thought Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels were wrestling Pretty Deadly.
who runs NXT? Shawn Michaels.
Sorry, again, you think Marty Jannetty?
I think crazier things have happened in the last year of wrestling than Marty Jannetty showing up on NXT. Book it.
I mean, this would be the day you do it when no one's paying attention to what's going on NXT.
I want the Rockers reunion one time in NXT.
So we thought it was crazy that they were calling it New Year's Evil this week when it's 10 days into
2
the
weeks
month.
after New
We
Year's.
know why now.
New Year's.
Today is the New Year's
Evil.
Evil of WWE.
Yeah, we understand.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So essentially, these two jobbers come out and just they've picked the very most geeky, generic-looking guys here, and Pretty Deadly make quick work of them. Rolling elbow to the back of the head. Booker is pretty funny on commentary here because he's bigging up these guys as top stars and saying, I tried to book these guys on a reality of wrestling show, but they were just so booked up. They were booked all around the world.
I think he had them confused with the real Rockers.
Yeah.
He tried to book the Rockers.
And it's Spilt Milk and Pretty Deadly win pretty convincingly.
Yeah.
And they go to kind of tease their next opponents coming out when the New Day music hit, and they come out and say, nah, we knew you had something up your sleeves like this, so we've lined up two of the actual best teams in this division, and they introduce Idris Enofe and Malik Blade.
Yeah, and Idris, for anyone kind of keeping score at home, Idris is wrestling in a shirt.
This is so funny. So Idris put out a tweet or like an Instagram where he showed like the stencil of a tattoo.
He was at a tattoo shop. He was getting a stencil of the WWE logo on his chest. He's clearly wearing a shirt here tonight because he knew of the news beforehand and wanted to cover up the WWE logo for obvious reasons. But so he's been trolling the interwebs for a while, and here he is. Yeah, I know he's been wrestling at house shows with the shirt on too.
That's
so here he is on TV wearing it, so you cannot see if he does have or have not the tattoo. Which I hope.
How long is he going to play this out for?
I
He
feel
could
like
be released tomorrow. To be honest,
I feel like the joke after today would definitely maybe I don't want that.
there was no mention on commentary of it though. I was waiting for maybe.
It didn't
a
look
line.
like out of place. It looked like a shirt designed to wrestle in. So,
For sure.
Yeah. At least it's not a sweater vest. That's all I really like. Sorry,
that
Malik.
could have worked as well.
Yeah.
There's tandem conhilos from Idris and Malik to the floor. Enofe has a hot tag. He hits a big spine buster, but Pretty Deadly get the blind tag in and get the advantage. They hit an assisted gut buster, but Enofe kicks out. And then Malik Blade blind tags himself in as Prince is setting up for a superplex on Idris. Hits the superplex, but Malik comes off the other turnbuckle with a big frog splash on Prince for a great near fall here.
Very FTR-like, revival-like, the superplex splash combo.
Except he's doing it on the person giving the superplex.
Yeah.
So I thought this was pretty great. But Pretty Deadly kick out. Malik then tags Enofe back in to hit like a fireman's carry into a blockbuster, but Wilson breaks up the pin. And then Enofe rolls up Wilson, but they're by the ropes, and Elton Prince on the outside pushes the kind of roll up, so it goes onto the other shoulders, and Pretty Deadly pick up the win here in pretty fun match these two had.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Idris and Malik are a team that have completely stepped up in the past, I'd say, year, but specifically the last 6 months. Definitely evolving as not only good in-ring performers and can get it done and pretty much show up and show off comparing against certain people they're in the ring with, but they're also coming into their own with character work, Malik seems to be more of the one that's a bit more awkward and maybe finding his footing, the sweater vest and all that, where Idris seems to be the more fun one, relaxed one, clearly trolling, having fun, and knows kind of what he's doing. So I'm into these guys. And like I've said a few times now, I think they'll be champions by next year.
I think these two could do really well. I think we keep on seeing them in a lot of backstage segments, and I think that's a good idea because I think Malik especially needs to feel a bit more comfortable with the character stuff. But you're in NXT, so absolutely put them on all these segments because I could totally see them being a good tag team in WWE, and we're starting to see a bit of a tag division form on the main roster slowly but surely. I think there have been some fun tag matches up there with the likes of Street Profits, Usos, etc. So yeah, I see these guys could be pretty big. Yeah,
definitely. I like those guys. Well, the match doesn't end though.
The match doesn't end because then Gallus come out. Yeah, the return of Gallus back from their suspension.
If things couldn't get crazier in today's news of pro wrestling, not only Jinder, but Gallus.
We see, it was actually Briggs and Jensen were meant to come out. Their music hits, and then we see backstage they've been taken out by Gallus. So Gallus come out and take their place. And there's a big half Nelson suplex from Mark Coffey, and then a power slam Enziguri combo for the win from Gallus, making pretty quick work of Pretty Deadly here. Yeah, so kind of a shock considering Pretty Deadly have been doing these comedy sketches with New Day. And then Gallus coming in, sweeping the win. I don't care whatsoever. Definitely, I would imagine they're going to a 4-way match or something like that along the line. I don't know. Gallus don't do it for me at all. The only thing I wonder is this to just set up a Gallus title match against New Day on the eve of Burns Night.
Absolutely.
So January 24th.
Yes.
Gallus versus New Day. Do some Scottish theme.
Haggis street
fight. And the
fight.
next day we'll be eating haggis with
Burns Night.
With Loch Ness and an AEW.
Alba Fire will be celebrating Burns Night. Definitely.
She
Scottish.
likes to burn, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So Gallus going forward, being the number one contender, is definitely
there's a bit of
a
stare down between New Day and I think.
Yeah.
So I hope this is on TV before the eventual Pretty Deadly match at Vengeance Day because that is the match.
That's so soft if that's the match at the pay-per-view.
What, Pretty Deadly New Day?
No, if it's Gallus.
Oh, I would think you should do this before. Have this on TV beforehand, and then I feel the match should be New Day Pretty Deadly again, and this time Pretty Deadly get the win back.
Yeah. Shout out everyone in the stream who are asking why we're talking about NXT instead of WWE being sold to Saudi Arabia.
It's confirmed now?
I don't know, but according to Corey, who seems to be a journalistic integrity here in the chat, really upset that we're discussing NXT.
Sorry,
Can you rewind on a live stream?
How about joining our streams at the beginning?
Yeah, we've been on here for a while now, but let's drop everything and discuss it again.
Go back to the beginning, guys, because I really want to talk about Julius Creed.
Yeah, I really want to talk about Diamond Mine. Why would we be talking about WWE being sold?
Sold to the Saudis.
No, don't say that. Diamond mines have been sold to the Saudis as well. Yeah. Well, NXT would definitely be gone too. Yeah.
Guys, what do you want me to do?
Start the show? Yeah. Everyone hates us apparently. God, where's John and Way? Oh my God.
And nothing happens on a Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So Julius Creed is backstage. He's pissed off about Jinder attacking him, and he goes, "I'm sick and tired of getting jumped. And I don't care that he's a former WWE champion. I want a match with him tonight, and I'm going to knock his teeth down his throat." And Ivy is like, "Why won't you back down from these guys?" He says, "There is no backing down." And he says he's going off to get this match made. Creed versus Jinder.
To be fair, Diamond Mine get jumped a lot. Everyone jumps them.
Yeah.
In every
Gallus
story.
Jumped him, didn't they?
Everyone
Apollo even saw that one.
They should probably start fixing that. So good on him for going to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why does Ivy keep on being like, "Guys, stop"?
Diamond Mine's gimmick since the beginning. Shout out Stokely.
Shout out Tyler Rust.
Has been, "Are Diamond Mine okay?" And is this gonna like survive and things. That's been the whole gimmick the whole time. So ridiculous.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. The chat want us to talk about Saudi again. Do you have anything else you would like to say?
Oh, has it been confirmed? We go to a diner in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, let's go to a diner. Let's do that. Let's go to the diner on NXT.
And we think it looks like Apollo Crews' diner.
Just for the record, like, you don't think us watching NXT, you think we give a fuck about NXT tonight? No, absolutely not. But we have a job to make sure everyone knows what happens on this show that everyone else doesn't watch.
Yeah. You all seem to know about the Saudi thing already. We're telling you what you don't know. Like Carmelo Hayes has a diary.
So this is Carmelo Hayes like mocking Apollo's diner.
Yeah, and he's saying that Apollo thought he could see himself as the next NXT champion, but I am here. And he's doing like this narration in his head as he's writing. And Trick interrupts his thoughts. He like comes into his thoughts, and he's and Melo's mad about this. And then Trick comes into the diner, and he's wearing a lucha mask for some reason. And I guess because he's been feuding with Axiom. And Melo says that the title, he's seen this vision, and it isn't the title with Bron's name on it or Apollo's name on it. It's with his name on it, and he will have it. And Trick says, yo, you don't need to just think that. Just say it and do it. So yeah, just making fun of Apollo here. But so Melo kind of still feuding with Apollo, where he's clearly got this title match with Bron that's going to come down the line.
I love Melo. Definitely one of the reasons I still enjoy watching NXT, and there's not many on this show, but Carmelo Hayes as a star will definitely be a big deal in WWE. I thought when the segment started where you see him mocking the diner with Apollo that I would really love it, but I felt like something was off and it wasn't like hitting as funny, as cool as usually they come across. It cuts to Trick wearing a lucha mask for some reason in the diner.
I think the thing is, it's when it's so like produced like this, it just looks hokey. And I think if this was more, if it looked a bit grainier and it was actually Trick and Melo making one of these videos to mock Apollo, instead the fact it was just, well, you've just got the WWE cameras and stuff, I don't know, it felt a little off.
Yeah, it felt off, considering Melo is our guy that we definitely rave about week by week. So it felt like it was not maybe as executed as well as maybe they thought it was. But I mean, the match will eventually still be awesome if like this feud, going forward and everything.
Chat's fire tonight.
Chat's really fire. Corey in the chat says it's his first time here and we roasted him, so I want to say sorry.
We're sorry, Corey.
But then he asked where you got your shirt, so there you go. It's like when you tweet Grayson Waller where he's got his shirt. So anyways, what else happened on NXT tonight? The Sunrise Diner.
So we left the diner.
That's a real place, by the way, in Florida.
Yeah, we'll go one day. We'll have a meet-up one day when we're going to Saudi Mania in Orlando, Florida.
Whoa, we gotta go to Saudi Mania. Where's that next year?
Philly.
Oh, man.
We've got a New Year's countdown. We've been seeing these vignettes all this time for someone returning. Counts down to New Year's on the 10th of January. And
they've been airing these vignettes for a while now, saying the countdown is happening tonight. We've seen the blonde hair. We've assumed, and our assumptions have come true.
The ball drops, and out comes Tiffany Stratton, who, has come back after a few months away. I think 5 months, did she say?
Yeah.
Seems quite a while. She says she's back. How badly did you miss me? You probably missed me so much, it's like not even funny. And every woman back there is sweating like a disgusting pig because NXT's biggest superstar is back. And I can't blame them for feeling so inferior because I'm a revelation. And I picked up this business better than any woman ever can. And I've watched every woman fail miserably at trying to replace me. No one has my shine, my skill, or my style. And now 2023 can finally begin as the center of the universe is back.
Yeah, I love me some Tiffany Stratton. We've seen that she's been away. We kind of assumed it was her. I think she was hitting a stride in NXT. And for those maybe who don't watch week to week, I would say Tiffany Stratton is another one to watch going forward in WWE. She's got the look. She's got a character down.
She brings up here about how quickly she's picked this up, and she's not wrong. Like we've said, like in just a handful of matches, how much she's improved. I didn't think it was her best promo. She seemed to lose her way a little bit in the middle. Kind of, I think she got a little lost and there was a bit of a pause. And it was a bit kind of, generic, like, I'm attractive and popular heel stuff. I'd like to see her evolve a bit. Obviously, this is the return, so it's okay. But I'd kind of like to see her character evolve and get a bit more depth. Because I think she's better than just... this. We've seen her do the daddy's little rich girl for a while now. She's
like definitely tried to evolve into like the Alicia Silverstone, Clueless, Reese Witherspoon, Legally Blonde, which she, to me, kayfabe wise, fits great because what a great time to re-debut when all the women have a number one contenders battle royal, but you don't enter it.
Well, I guess she's not ready.
She's still healing up?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see where she can go. I was getting into
she's young as well. I think she's got a very high ceiling.
Yeah, for sure.
Kaden and Katana are in the parking lot, and they say that today marks a record-breaking 161-day reign as NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. And they say that they're going to go after the men's now as well. When Tiffany Stratton storms past them, and a journalist tries to ask her some questions.
Fucking journalist.
And she tells him to go away and shoves him away. And you see the camera kind of drop. Kaden and Katana, I do not find them likable at all.
They're very heelish, yeah.
They're meant to be baby faces, but I just think they come across very arrogant and obnoxious a lot of the time when they're doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't care for it as much. I think they would make better as heels.
Yeah, I think so. We go to somewhat early the NXT Championship match. Grayson Waller versus Bron Breakker.
Yeah, pretty interesting that they would go to this in the middle of the show. And then kind of we assume that the Battle Royal for the women's number one contendership is the main event, which is the case. So we get a pretty cool video package though for this video because over Christmas Grayson Waller went home to Sydney, Australia, so the footage that he got someone to help film him and stuff looks pretty cool when he's cutting his promos and talking that trash to Bron, which I liked. It gave it a good feel, and then of course him winning the Iron Survivor to get here in this position. So
I think they actually built this match up way better than a lot of Bron Breakker's feuds.
Yeah.
This was just in a few weeks, but I thought they did a good job. I thought that Iron Survivor match was excellent, and I thought Grayson Waller's win was actually pretty clever how he got there. So I think this feud has had a little more momentum than we're used to with Bron's feud.
You know me, I'm not the biggest Waller fan. I think he is pretty cheeky and pretty funny and can talk really well. His wrestling definitely has improved, don't get me wrong, but he definitely sold me on him when he did the shoey. And I said to you tonight, Davey, if Waller wins tonight, get your finest, cleanest pair of shoes. We're doing a shoey.
This time of year, I really don't have them.
They're all
I'll find some in
beat up shoes.
There,
well, don't worry, he didn't win. So.
Yeah, true. Well, maybe next time. His entrance, he had a big entrance as well, kind of a video package highlighting all his moments, jumping off the cage, the ladder,
beating up Johnny,
which they can show again now. And actually, this crowd are kind of behind Waller as well. There's dueling chants here. Waller slaps Breakker, who it pisses him off, and he chases him around the ring. There's the vertical suplex, kip up, and standing moonsault combo from Bron. Waller comes back with a tornado DDT, and then applies the guillotine, the front chancery. And this is where the Bron Breakker sucks chants start in the
John Cena theme style. Remember when people would sing John Cena sucks? It was that, but Bron Breakker sucks.
This is the thing in this kind of studio environment. It just takes
3 people,
5 people who are mates to start a chant like this, and it suddenly sounds like everyone hates Bron Breakker. But I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah.
But Waller definitely with his supporters here. There was a big spear from Bron going into the corner, and as he hits it, the middle rope kind of falls off, explodes, and Breakker selling this like it could have seriously hurt him, as Waller kind of has a bit of a cheeky grin.
Yeah, they go into commercial break, picture in picture, and then you see, like, as they do that commentary, like, hey, we're going to try to get this ring fixed. I would say this is clearly a planned spot. It looked like it was executed safely, where, like, he gets speared so hard. Funny enough, it was Waller who spears Bron into the corner for the break.
Right, yes.
So then, like, during the break, he's still beating him up when you see, like,
choking him with it at one point.
Yeah, you see, like, then they're trying to fix the ring and everything like that. So when we finally come back, like, Waller was using that in his advantage to gain control. So it was an interesting take because they don't usually do that in WWE.
Breaker, after the break, applies an armbar, which we don't really see him use much. There's then a forearm exchange. Bron misses a clothesline, and Waller follows up with one of his own right from behind to the back of the neck, which looked pretty nasty. Waller then mocks the breaking pose that Bron does and puts the Steiner recliner on Bron. Bron starts to come back. He hits a bulldog off the top, goes for the spear, but Waller dips to the outside, strings Bron up on the ropes, and then goes for his diving, rolling stunner. But as he's doing it, you can see Bron waiting to hit the spear, and Grayson scouts that. So as Bron goes for the spear, instead of going for the stunner, Grayson Waller hits a knee to the head. I thought it was timed perfectly, this.
This looked crazy.
It looked great.
Yeah, this was nuts. Like, who knew Waller had it in him to hit this, like, roll-through, pop-up into a counter, into a high, almost V-trigger, like, knee strike. So pretty impressive from Waller.
Yeah, really nice timing here. And then Waller starts to climb up to, we assume, do his elbow drop, but the middle rope gives out again, and Waller falls to the outside, and the referee starts to count, and Grayson Waller doesn't make it in the ring in time, gets counted out. So Bron is announced as the winner, but you can see Bron isn't happy. He didn't want it that way.
Yeah, controversial, as they say. Grayson Waller's pissed. He says if the rope wasn't broken, he would have won the match, and kind of throughout the night basically tweeting like, hey, this isn't over, Sean, and kind of mentioning that by the end of the night this decision has to be reversed or something along those lines. But you know what, an interesting take. WWE's been good at, I think back to SummerSlam where they're like, how many times have Brock and Roman faced off? Okay, what could we do? Well, it's a last man standing match, which usually suck. Let's break the ring. Let's have a tractor. Like, let's make something really memorable from that by doing that. WWE's really thinking outside the box a bit more when it comes to that. It wasn't my favorite. I actually didn't like the finish, but I understand why they do it, because clearly we're going to a rematch with a stipulation added.
I thought the match was pretty good. I think Waller's definitely stepped up. That kind of stunner, spear, knee thing cool. I thought was great. And I agree. I thought the rope spot was kind of, it's not something we've really seen a great deal. So I did think that was unique. It wasn't just going to the well. I didn't even mind the finish so much because it is like driving a story. It was more just on this show, a lot of matches had these non-finishes. You had, we were meant to get Creeds versus Indus and that didn't happen. We'll go into the Battle Royal later. We had this with this match as well. It just, when you look at the whole show and there's these sort of weird non-finishes, it gets a bit repetitive. But I thought in isolation, I didn't mind this match, and for what the story it's telling, it kind of works.
Yeah, we'll get a reveal of what's to come regarding a rematch at the very end of this episode, which, they rematch. They'll have another fight, which should be pretty good too. But as much as I'm like, kind of hokey, playing as if the ring actually broke. So you're meaning to tell me WWE is very unsafe in the ring? Because when they come back after break from this match, they have, is it Vic Joseph, right? Yeah. Vic Joseph's job here is to let us know that the ring now has been double enforced. They put double the screws and bolts.
He names someone who's
like this person,
this guy that can check rings or whatever.
The best ring checker
they
has
flew
fucking
in the best ring checker.
Checked this ring right now.
That's Saudi money now.
There won't be. They'll be checking rings for sure. It's just funny that the little details there was like, hey, just to let you people know at home, this won't happen again because now we're gonna make sure this ring is really safe because we have a 20-person battle royal later. We can't have this happen.
Yeah.
Good on them.
Yeah. Good stuff. Roxanne Perez is backstage and is asked who she would like to see win the Battle Royal. And she says, well, Cora Jade. No, only joking. She wants anyone to win but her, and she's excited for the first premium live event outside of the CWC in 3 years, which isn't true.
Yeah, Stand and Deliver,
We
right?
had Stand and Deliver last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she on that card?
No. And says that Gigi, and I think maybe the first one just standing alone,
And delivering.
not piggybacking off of a weekend.
Okay.
Maybe.
Right.
Let's
sure.
say that's what
Let's
she
go
meant.
with that. Yeah.
She says that Gigi and JC are threats, but she can't wait to watch the match. And we then get a video package to hype up Charlie Dempsey versus Hank Walker.
Yeah,
That's
kind
tonight.
of. Yeah, putting together some of the clips of what, like Hank going to Gulak and Dempsey and stuff like that. So that match is happening. I want to shout out some super chats in the
Ooh.
live chat. Shout out Jamie Coe, who says, "Good work, guys," and shout out to Corey. You know we love Corey, who asked you earlier where you got your shirt, and you told him Old Navy. He says he now found the shirt on Old Navy, therefore maybe he'll get it.
It's just a red flannel.
Just a red Canadian
shirt.
flannel
Yeah,
classic,
but
but
it is a nice shirt. I haven't worn it for a while,
Yeah.
actually. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for making me feel
Yeah.
nice today.
So it's been sold, right? I'm sorry, I won't do that
so
again.
now what? Body Slam and DAZN reporting it, apparently.
Shit, son.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get back to the
Anyway,
important
let's
stuff.
get back to the important stuff. Apollo Crews is watching Carmelo Hayes on an iPad.
How was he doing this? Was he watching the clip on their Twitter? Because he wasn't watching
He's
it
watching
live.
on delay.
That's a long delay. That segment was like an hour ago.
Well, no, he's catching up. Isn't
Right.
he?
All right.
Yeah.
You figure he has a vision. He would have saw that
He's
already.
got a better setup than we do. He's probably, got the proper
got
app
his-
to watch this.
You're telling me this guy still uses his iPad to watch things? He's got like futuristic visions and stuff. I would just tune in.
Braden, it doesn't work like that.
Oh, okay.
You know that. Come on.
You got to. It's only to see
Yeah.
the future.
This is all psychics there. It doesn't work like that. You
Yeah.
can't just ask. You gotta. They just come.
Right.
These visions.
Yeah.
Think of mediums, maybe. I don't know.
Well, Apollo didn't see this guy show up.
So Axiom comes in and he's like, you're watching Mello and Trick. Yeah, they've been getting under my skin as well. That Trick still gets to me, even though I beat him. You can see it all over my face. As he's obviously wearing a mask, and Apollo's like, yeah, I can. Basically, they say, look, we've got unfinished business with these guys, and we should team up. And the match is made official later that next week it's Apollo Crews and Axiom taking on Trick and Mello.
Yeah, I broken record every time I see Axiom. I love the wrestling. Like, I think maybe one of the best kept secrets, bell to bell in ring. I hate the character, the mathlete luchador. I hate the fact that he keeps trying to. He's the comedian that uses the same joke every single time.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, we get it, and you're trying to be funny and having fun, but. I'm definitely like, I don't like that character whatsoever. But when the bell rings, man, this guy is
They
incredible.
don't really hit the mathlete thing over your head.
Not anymore.
All he's ever doing is wearing turtlenecks and walking around.
Not lately,
backstage,
but Apollo
being
goes.
a bit lame.
Apollo goes. You're good with numbers. How about 2v2? It's like that. That's clever.
Yeah.
Good for you. But yeah, they've definitely toned down the like math kind of stuff. But yeah, good stuff.
We go to Hank Walker with Drew Gulak in his corner, taking on Charlie Dempsey, and this is where Vic is assuring us the ropes have been reinforced. There's this big shoulder breaker from Hank, who still just wearing his jeans and boots and shirt.
Sorry, the storyline is, hey Drew, I was a security guard. I became a wrestler here at NXT. I got that contract from HBK, but I'm just not. The wrestling isn't hitting quite yet. Like, is there anything you can like teach me? And Drew's like, yeah, like look, I'm doing all this, and shows him a bit, and then says, I'll watch your match or whatever. And Hank still just shows up dressed like this. Wouldn't he show up in like a
You would
singlet?
think if he's going to like wrestling school, essentially, Drew should be like, and get yourself some gear.
Yeah, tape your fists.
Here are my old ring boots.
Some
They wouldn't
boots.
fit him, but yeah,
Yeah, anything.
something like that.
I don't know.
It looks really weird watching him, but then Andre Chase is the same.
It's like Seth Rogen from Knocked Up. That's who I see when the Hank Walker wrestles. But yeah.
Yeah. There's this big shoulder breaker, which looked pretty nice from Walker. Booker saying that, look, Hank Walker has been putting in the work and now he's wrestling on a PLE. And Vic's like, no, he's not. That's in February.
This is not a PLE.
We're on
yeah.
TV book.
Yeah.
There's the regal stretch from
What
Dempsey.
the hell?
There's the regal stretch from Dempsey, but Hank gets the rope, There's then these clubbing forearms across the face from Dempsey. Hank then applies a cross arm breaker.
Wow.
Yeah.
This was pretty impressive.
He's been learning.
Yeah, very, very Alberto Del Rio, John Moxley-esque.
And this was super impressive here because Hank Walker's big and Dempsey's not huge at all.
No.
But Dempsey bridges out of this to roll through and start striking him on the back and then applies the Regal stretch. Hank goes for the ropes. Gulak is begging him to reach. And Dempsey just rolls this through to the middle of the ring and makes him tap with the Regal stretch. Really impressive here from Dempsey, especially on someone a lot bigger.
Yeah, no, I actually, like, for this quick little match and, Hank, the security guard, for what it's worth, this was, for me, a highlight of, you know what, no, I'll give Hank, he did a cross arm breaker, and a great shoulder breaker that looked almost like a tombstone. Bless Hank Walker. But Charlie Dempsey is the one who has my interest. I don't know if I'm alone there, but the fact that he's Regal's kid, instantly, I'm intrigued to see what he can do. And so far, the little things,
he's looking good.
He's looking real good.
We haven't really seen him tested with a long match yet in NXT, but from what I'm seeing, I'm really liking with this guy.
Yeah. Do you?
And it looking legit. Like Hank Walker's a lot bigger than this guy, and I thought his submissions on him looked legit. Like it looked like he was throwing him around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good stuff.
Maybe, clearly we're going with like a wrestling style club here with, combat club style with Gulak and Dempsey, possibly Hank Walker, I don't know really. And then we would assume, eventually Willie Regal shows up. Or is Willie Regal just showing up tomorrow night being like, hey, I'm here for work. Wait, what are you doing here? I'm here. It's Dynamite. I'm here for work. But you left.
No, it was a story, wasn't it?
Don't think I left. I got beat up by MJF. I still work here. Are you? Huh. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Regal's on the phone right now. No. Look, Charlie Dempsey. It's so early in his career, at least here, like being on TV in these quick, short matches. But the little bursts that we're seeing, in 5 years, who knows? We're gonna be talking about him fighting Danielson or something crazy. Hopefully, down the line. I see things. He's got that mean face. That Pete Dunne, butch, mean, stretching people. Yeah, something about him. I like it.
Alba Fire approaches Sol Ruka backstage and says, look, I owe you a match, because she kind of interfered in one the other week with Isla Dawn. She says, I owe you a match. And Sol says, no, you don't have to do that. And she goes, do you want a match or not? And Sol's like, yo, okay, yeah, I'll have a match. And then I was like, I'm so sorry. I've got a lot on my mind at the moment. I'm sorry.
Alba, get it together.
I think we might be getting sold to the Saudis. I'm sorry.
Yeah. To be fair, Sol should be like, I didn't get to fight you. I would still like that opportunity. Yeah. But, it's fine.
But that's not Sol, is it? She's like, yeah, whatever, man.
Too much Sol.
Sure. Yeah.
Don't worry, Sol. We'll talk about Sol stealing the show later.
We then get a video package hyping up the return of Tyler Bate. He says after his loss to Bron, he took some time off, time to reflect. Now he's back to face new faces and old, and this time he's staying.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. A lot of people have been asking where the hell this guy's been, especially after the short little run where he gave up, handed Braun Breaker the UK title. They packed up NXT UK for good, and then this guy's just been, I don't know, doing yoga, twirling his mustache for the past few months. So you know what? I'm actually really excited to see this guy. He specifically ended the vignette promo here, and he said, I'm coming back to NXT, and this time I'm here to stay.
Yes.
So
because he has come to NXT a lot of times.
Yeah.
He did the tag run, the tag title run, then he disappeared. Then he came back for a short singles run and disappeared. Then he came back for this run, disappeared. So yeah, good. I think he's a great wrestler. So
look,
him mixing up with the UK lads who've moved over and your Mellows and all that. Yeah, good stuff.
I definitely think he's a great wrestler. I just don't know what else. He already lost to Bron. We've already done the program, multi-man matches and stuff. So maybe main roster, but I just don't know what they'd really do with him anyways over there. So as long as he's back on NXT, that means we're gonna get some good wrestling. And you're right, him against Axiom again, JD. It shows different faces that he's kind of calling out. Mello, Braun, JD, and Axiom, I think, are the ones they flashed. So great matchups possibly coming soon.
Yeah. And then we go to NXT Anonymous. This is like being tweeted out earlier in the day, and it's
Sorry, what?
So it's we see Scripts going into a locker room, leaving a note for Oro Mensah because they've been feuding, and Scripts likes leaving. I think so. Sure, they had a match the other week, didn't they?
So they're feuding,
I guess. Anyway, he's written a little note for Oro.
Yeah.
And NXT Anonymous is watching on and is stalking this kind of stalker and says, even if you can't see me, I have eyes and ears everywhere.
Yeah, just more Scripts, the Watcher, leaving love notes. It means Valentine's Day is coming up. Maybe that's...
Someone is watching Scripts.
Someone's watching Scripts?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was under the impression this was all Scripts doing this.
Well, no, Scripts is Scripts. Why would he be WWE Anonymous?
But he's already...
No, this is a different character.
Scripts is the guy who leaves, like, does the
someone's
writing.
Watching him do it.
This is
That's
like...
what I got, because everything else has been from Scripts.
This is like the Zodiac Killer or something going on here. How can this angle get any more fucking stupid? And this is exactly it.
So I think this is a different character who's the stalker.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely
who's
not.
stalking Scripts. Why would Scripts stalk himself anonymously?
Sorry, I thought...
Scripts would send this from Scripts.
I thought Scripts was writing notes to Oro Mensah.
Yeah, and someone was spying on Scripts do this.
What was that Attitude Era TV thing where they followed people like Goldust and Val Venus? XTV, what was it called?
What, yeah.
An Attitude Era. Remember like the backstage cameras?
Yeah.
They call you the Big Show. Remember like they would spy on
this,
people?
yeah.
Is this supposed to be like that? I don't know.
Because this is like... WWE Anonymous, right? That was it? Or NXT Anonymous?
We're roommates. We were watching this at the same time in the same room, and we both got different takes from watching this. So I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I completely missed the ball.
Yeah, look, it starts off like outside of the door. So this is
someone
like...
You're making me rewatch this.
Like,
okay.
there's someone looking in.
And spying
on... Scripts
on...
is leaving a little love letter to Oro Mensah.
So NXT...
But it's from NXT Anonymous.
Maybe NXT...
Scripts has his own account.
Okay, so NXT Anonymous is just, like...
And look, in NXT Largo, he was watching Odyssey Jones pick up a Uber Eats, it looks like.
You think Odyssey Jones got double meat?
Look, he's watching Kaden and Katana here. And
wow, this is the first I've heard of NXT Anonymous.
And we watch the show every week.
We need upNXT Anonymous.
upNXT Anonymous.
Someone's watching us all the time. GTV. Thank you, everyone in the chat. GTV. Yes. Yeah. Wow. Dude, how? Like, Scripts is already the worst thing possibly going in NXT, maybe ever. And now there's another person spying on that guy. So great. Let's keep it going.
DDP's back.
He was spying on the Undertaker's wife.
He's stalking Sarah.
Yeah. So now we got poetic Cirque du Soleil luchadors. We got stalkers.
Well, we're about to talk about the streamer in a bit.
Oh yeah, more gimmicks coming. Yeah,
that's coming up a little later.
Yeah.
We go to Julius Creed versus Jinder Mahal, and Julius is pissed at Jinder for attacking him earlier, so charges him right away, delivers these big punches in the corner. Julius Creed leaps to the top rope, hitting a huge superplex, which always looked great, Kurt Angle-esque. And then Jinder comes back with these big knees to the face, and we see Julius is actually busted open from the mouth. Jinder's now delivering these big forearms, and Creed starts to come back with big forearms of his own, and then this kind of front suplex power slam thing, which looked lovely from Julius.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is definitely a machine when it comes to the ring. Some of the suplexes this guy can do we compare him to Kurt Angle a lot, but it's because he does the Kurt Angle type moves. Like the jumping to the top rope, cat-like belly to belly is a thing of perfection.
Julius then gets Jinder on his shoulders and hits his rolling Death Valley driver, and he goes to the top rope, but Sanger gets on the apron, causing the distraction. Julius goes for the shooting star, and this is where Jinder moves, but Julius still lands on his feet, rolls through, really impressive here, but runs into a big super kick, side crescent kick, and then the Coloss for the win from Jinder Mahal.
Felt great to see the Coloss again. Remember that move?
Yeah.
The director's cut, whatever else anyone else called that move. Yeah, look, Jinder showing up, cool. We have this stable. I think all we're missing is Shanky.
Shanky was dancing on SmackDown, I think, at one point.
Okay, yeah.
Shanky might be gone. I don't know.
Oh man, what about Maximum Male Models?
No, they're still kicking around.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Look, Julius Creed is a great wrestler. The Creeds are great wrestlers. The thing that for me that has been kind of stunting their growth here in NXT and WWE is a lot of their promo stuff. They've been given some like pretty whack storylines. Like again, where they're probably some of their biggest fans. We watch the show every week. We think they're going to be big stars in WWE, but some of their promos and vignettes are pretty cheesy and very laughable, where it's like, why would you put these guys in that position when they come across pretty badass and pretty, you don't need to talk much. They've
sounded good at times.
They have definitely. So to now like have them in the storyline where these two guys really want to fight you, well, we want you at your best, and then like, well, the other guy's not here now, here's Jinder Mahal. It's just like they've been beating around this bush for like way too long, where I just also don't care.
Is this for Roddy to come back though? So you can get a bit of a 3-on-3.
Hey, I didn't even think of that.
I did see Roddy kind of posting a lot in the last week, like loads of like stuff from Ring of Honor and all these
very
like,
vague things.
Yeah, with just diamonds on each one.
Wow. So he's saying he's going to Ring of Honor.
But I mean, you've got a trio now with.
That would be cool.
Unless Via's disappeared, I don't know where Via was tonight.
Yeah.
I like Julius. I like that they give the Creeds these singles matches as well to get them to improve on that front. I actually thought Jinder looked better than I remember him here. I thought this was quite a competitive match, and because I'm not a big fan of Jinder's wrestling.
Don't hinder the Jinder.
But I thought he like looked in great shape here, and I didn't think he was bad in the ring either. I thought so. We'll see. I don't know. I'd like this group to do well, because I am high on Sanger. We've seen so many times these kind of big Indian wrestlers coming in and kind of just not doing it at all. I'd like something to finally click, and I think there is a bit more personality in Sanger for sure, and I hope the other guys step up as well, so we'll see.
You got me high. Like, I want to see Roddy back. I just like seeing Roddy wrestle. Like, before, the guy is not going to wrestle forever, so I just want to see him have the best matches. Yeah, I'd like to see him in AEW and Ring of Honor and revisit some old indie wrestling darling stuff, but he's had a pretty great run in WWE, in my opinion. Yeah, he's been chilling in NXT. Never forget, he won in Survivor Series against AJ and Nakamura. Never forget. But Roddy coming back would make me a bit interested in this like 3-on-3 kind of style match between the two teams, for sure. I could get into it. Last thing is, shout out Julius Creed doing the like T-bone suplex, like the Shelton one, but like really lifted him here, and he's been doing it lately. I love it.
Backstage with Briggs and Jensen, who are nursing their wounds, and Fallon Henley and Kiana James are with them as Kiana's kind of checking on Brooks. And they say, Kiana asks, why did they do that to you guys? And they say, well, Gallus are pissed because the pub rules match we had when we won. And Fallon says, look, we're going to go out there and take care of this battle royal. And Jensen says, yeah, we'd love to go out there, but look at him, he's so beaten up. And Fallon says, yeah, I'm looking and I'm not liking what I'm seeing, as Kiana James is caressing Brooks Jensen. We saw this last week with Kiana kind of congratulating Fallon. Kiana still playing very, very sweet with these, but Fallon's not quite buying it. But Brooks is in love.
Look, I'm a sucker for romance in my wrestling, for sure. And I mean, Kiana James seems very genuine and simply just has feelings for Brooks Jensen.
Or does she?
She's not getting the bar.
I kind of like Brooks is probably like, yeah, I know you're probably stringing me along here, but I'm here for the ride while it lasts.
Yeah. Brooks and Jensen never had a team go so 180 on my view on them, so bless them. I want to
get
see
their names right.
What's their name? Brooks Jensen.
Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. Brooks and Briggs is too similar.
Yeah.
So
I always say Briggs Jensen.
Briggs and Jensen is the easier one.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Brooks isn't a first name. Come on. What is?
Yeah. It's Brooks Jensen. It's because he's BJ, B2.
Yeah, BJ.
Who's his dad?
BJ and JB.
JB. Yeah.
And double B.
Double B. B squared. Yeah. B2. Yeah. Apparently, John Cena is Brooks Jensen's godfather.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because he tweeted last week after NXT, Brooks Jensen tweeted a picture, a screen cap of something that happened with Kiana in a scene with him, and said, John Cena's my godfather, so call me the doctor of Risonomics. Bless Brooks Jensen.
Nice.
Future WWE world champion.
He's young. Like, you never know.
He's like 20 years old or something.
He's so young.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
We'll see. We get a video package for Stevie Turner. And
Stevie Turner? I thought it was Steven Tyler. Oh, sorry. Stevie Tyler. No. Stevie Turner?
Stevie Turner.
Stevie Turner. Why
Stevie
did I write
Tyler
Steven Tyler?
Is the lead singer of
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith. Yeah.
That would be pretty sick if they were on this episode, but yeah.
Yeah. So she's a Twitch streamer.
Yeah, in a nutshell, you just explained
So
it.
she's got her whole setup. She looks like, she's got a ring light, she's got her lights, she's got a studio set up, her headset on, and...
Sorry, I thought they fired Mandy for this.
Yeah, she's a content creator.
Okay, so I'm assuming that this is, like, she's more of a gamer, because it says, like, stream started, and it's got, like, digital, like, kind of, all that 8-bit stuff.
She says she's... I'm the resident data collector, and I will be downloading you with information all about me.
Still not really confirming or denying what
and
we
says,
are
I'm always
sure
2
about.
levels above and 2 steps ahead. Yeah,
Streets ahead.
This was one of those things where it's... she's young. This girl looks young. You could buy her as a Twitch streamer. This is the land of crazy gimmicks. It's sure. And if we see maybe, like, her have a chat show at some point, but it's like a Twitch stream.
Twitch stream.
Sure. But then it's the language that is so obviously written by someone who knows nothing about all this. To have... What 20-year-old... I'm guessing she's about 20, 21. What would say, I'm a resident data collector and I will be downloading you with information all about me? It's like, okay.
Yeah.
You're now hitting us over the head with what you are. You're not using any language like a young girl would be using. This was horrible, I thought.
Yeah, pretty weird. Look, I love WWE and NXT for trying new things. Like, absolutely. Like, we've seen all sorts of... We've seen weirder characters than this, right? In fact, there's already characters on the independents who have this character. I've mentioned I watch...
Every wrestler today has this character.
Yeah, Adam Cole.
Adam Cole is this
Twitch streamer, yeah. And they don't talk like this or act like this, right? It's weird. I watch Women of Wrestling. I've told you, WoW has been my guilty pleasure as of late. And there's a character who on there wrestles, and she's like, her whole gimmick is a streamer. I'm blanking on her name, but it's like Twitch or Switch the Streamer or something like that. And it's very similar, like the way her gear is like 8-bit and all that stuff. And I think she comes out with like a controller or something. I mean, shout out Big Game Leroy, who plays the Switch, like Orange Cassidy. He's all over the independents. We've seen him live a few times and stuff. Yeah. Like, he's hilarious. But to do a streaming thing, like, again, I did not get the vibe of like an OnlyFans cam girl.
No, not at all. No.
But it just like, hey, I'm here for the stream.
No, it started off with her watching her NXT UK matches,
right,
and kind of commenting on it. So it was like like we would do a watch along back in the day. It looked like that kind of thing. So
look, it's pretty silly, but that's in today's age. Like, streaming is a huge thing.
I just think there's a cooler way to do this.
Yeah.
Kind of like we've seen, which I think they've actually done quite well when they've done the TikToks, where, it's like 2 of the girls backstage are making a dance video and a fight breaks out behind them as they're recording a Twitch show. I think that kind of works. A TikTok. I think this, I don't know if she's been twitching, but they could have built this up over a while and like have it like, oh, this happened on a stream earlier this week.
She should have been scripts.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
She should have been the one spying on people. I installed cameras. I do all this digital. I don't know. Like, I think back to OG NXT stands will know, the hacker, Solomon Crow? Like, remember that shit? Like, you could do something like that, I guess, if you're going to go that way. I'm in Toronto. For years, I've been watching independent, shout out Smash Wrestling, but there was a gimmick named the hacker Scotty O'Shea, I think he was.
Yeah.
He was a regular here. He would come out. He'd come out and he'd wear like the nerdy glasses with tape, and he'd give them to kids, and then he'd beat the shit out of his opponents with like keyboards and game controllers and stuff like that. It's been definitely like done, but WWE really hasn't done it. So in a while, that's really gotten over. So why the hell not would you take this like young blonde girl who I have not watched a lot of her wrestling. I have seen bits and pieces of her in NXT UK. But hey, why not give it a Twitch streamer gimmick? Like, we've seen way worse, to be honest. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But like, we're complaining, and yet scripts is still a thing. So really, I don't know. This is week one.
This is week one, and we'll see how it translates to the ring.
It's just funny.
We then get confirmed for next week. It's Mello and Trick versus Axiom and Apollo, and Gallus are taking on Briggs and Jensen.
And then we can also confirm WWE's been sold to Disney. Oh, sorry. We can't confirm nor deny that.
Can't confirm or deny, yeah.
You can't just say the words confirmed to me right now.
As I just see Jason Solomon, nothing is confirmed. Yeah.
Nothing is confirmed and everything is a lie.
Yeah. We go to the main event of the evening. It's the NXT Women's Battle Royal, 20 women. I'm just kind of going to go through the eliminations here. Cora Jade is immediately eliminated by Valkyria, which was
the Bird Lady.
The Bird Lady, which was a bit of a surprise, as she was probably one of the favorites. So Cora's out immediately. Kiana then dumps Paxley out of the ring. Lash Legend gets chopped this was pretty loud by Amari Miller, and then Legend just jumps her and sends her out the ring. Sol Ruka, in kind of a bit of a Kofi Rumble spot here, gets thrown out but lands on her hands, starts to walk, and then she teases doing the kind of flipping back onto the feet and does one leg, and then is like, oh no, pushes back up and walks back to the ring.
Did I not say this was what was going to happen last week? Yeah, we said this is totally set up for her to do the Kofi spot. This was her test, so that they can book her for the Rumble in a few weeks.
Yeah, I think we've seen them do like Casey Catanzaro pretty quickly, got her in a Rumble spot.
Yeah,
could totally see them have her in it. We've seen a lot of the same people. The women's Rumble has less to like pick from when it comes to legends and things like that. So a fun spot like this would totally work.
Like, call me crazy, you could instantly have people knowing who she is. If you throw her in the Rumble, when she comes out, people won't know who she is. No. But you have her do this spot, get back in the ring, and then hit that like flipping cutter thing she does. Dude, people will be talking about that for like days, about like, who is this person? So
not saying a call up, but despite the Rumble, why not get some attention?
She's only been here for a little while. She hasn't done too much to like impress, but every time we do see her, she like gets better and better. And like, I know she comes in here as the surfer gimmick, which I think she clearly actually lives the gimmick. But she's just become the lady who walks on her hands in the background, and I think that's also very funny. Yeah. So like, I thought she definitely nailed it here. And like, if that was an audition for the Rumble,
she can do this in front of thousands of people in San Antonio.
Book it, yeah. If you're not seeing it this year, book it next year. But this was pretty great.
Thea Hale then eliminates Valentina for Royce. Indy eliminates Lash Legend. Valkyria then eliminates Kiana James. And then Zoe throws out. This was someone I didn't know. I think they said Danielle Carter.
There was a few unfamiliar faces here. Like, I don't necessarily watch NXT Level Up, if that's still a show. So yeah.
Cora Jade then runs back into the ring to try and take out Valkyria, but Valkyria eliminates her again. In the break, Fallon Henley gets eliminated by Alba Fire. Elektra Lopez eliminated. Wendy Chu then gets thrown out, but lands on the pillow.
Yeah.
We've seen her do this before.
We've seen her be saved by the pillow.
But this time, Elektra Lopez pulls it from under her, sending her crashing.
She yanks the pillow. Yeah. Have you ever, like, I think back to when I was a kid and, like, you know, siblings or cousins or whatever, and you're, like, fighting or wrestling and someone's on a pillow. The easiest way to have them fall is pull the pillow from underneath them. She yanked it.
It reminded me of, how Undertaker got concussed against Brock. It was that leg sweep on the outside. That's where, like, it's just a jolt to your head. So,
Sleepy Wendy Chu could have been sleepier.
So I assume this is Chu's next feud, her and Elektra Lopez. Yeah. Sol Ruka then eliminates Zoe Starks in a big kind of upset moment for her there. And Sol gets a really big reaction. She comes in with these drop kicks and clotheslines, goes for a front handspring, but gets super kicked and then eliminated by Alba Fire. JC Jane then throws out Fire, but she holds on to the ropes, and Valkyria is trying to take her down with a head scissors. Toxic Attraction then dropkick both of them, and there's a step-up Enziguri allowing Valkyria to take out Alba Fire with the head scissors. And then Valkyria is there. Sorry, that's when Cora Jade then runs out.
And takes her out,
Takes out Valkyria. So that's a feud set up there between Cora Jade and Valkyria, which feels fresh, which is good, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Valkyria's only been here for a few weeks, and right away jumping into that as a feud would make sense, yeah.
And then Gigi and JC are the last two. So they start off by celebrating, and then you see this smile come across JC Jane where it looks like she's going to turn, and then they're both looking at each other like, well, what should we do?
The Toxic Attraction implodes.
Should we wrestle? Have we both won? And then JC says, no, I'll do it. I'll eliminate myself. She's going over the top rope, and Gigi's going, no, don't do it. And JC turns around and super kicks her in the face, goes to throw her out, but Gigi holds on, and now they're fighting on top of the turnbuckle, and both fall to the floor at exactly the same time. And they showed a bunch of replays here, and actually we've seen this go wrong a lot of times in Battle Royals and Rumble spots. They timed this perfectly.
This was John Cena Batista 05.
Yeah.
Not so much Vince McMahon running and pulling his quads, but we could only hope. This was timed great, with both of them falling on either side and then basically being like, well, they're both the winner. So just like Apollo Crews, they also saw the premonition of them both winning tonight, and it actually happened.
Yeah. Kind of cool ending, I
Interesting,
thought.
yeah.
I think this makes sense. This was the most teased of any kind of winner, was these two. And how they got there kind of having a split. I don't think it's a solid split, but I think there's going to be that lack of trust now going into a triple threat match, and I totally see it's them turning against each other that gets Roxanne to win this.
So it's Roxanne who says, I'll fight you both.
Yes.
And I'm assuming Vengeance Day, it's a triple threat match. Which, look, it's cool that Toxic Attraction are kind of getting their own kind of singles action, world title action, especially if they're actually going to face each other, which we've never seen them really do here in WWE, considering they've been tag team partners since they've been here. So, like, that's pretty cool. I would say it's classic NXT WWE shit where they go, we're so mad at you, Roxanne. Why? Why are you so mad at her? We're so mad of what you've done to us. Oh, yeah? What did she do? We don't want to talk about it. Oh, yeah? What exactly did she really do? She took the title from us. She took the title from you specifically? Yes, so we want revenge. So it's kind of like, all right, let's just pretend like that all that other shit didn't happen. I'm sure that Roxanne and these two can have a great match, but something deep inside was like, maybe do that for a TV program, and I kind of wished the pay-per-view, like Vengeance Day, was Roxanne v, someone a bit... I don't know, a bit more exciting.
I think the big one's going to be Stand and Deliver. I think that's the big show, because now... So the show ends with backstage with Shawn Michaels sat down.
And he says, NXT's done. We've been sold.
He's like, I'm here for one more episode.
The funny thing is, like, while we were watching NXT, while I'm sure a lot of other people were watching NXT, if you watched it live tonight, you were watching NXT, but then you were also trying to follow Twitter and internet and post wrestling and all this stuff, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. And then they start to tease, Shawn Michaels is going to have this announcement.
And you're like, oh shit.
Oh shit. He's saying bye to Trips.
Like Vic at one point, who looks quite serious and goes, and we've got big news coming up.
Big news. Anyways, you want to know what the big news is?
We've booked Apollo Crews and Axiom next week against Mello and Trick. And you're like, oh, okay, it's big news. So Shawn is in the office and is sat down with Bron Breakker and Grayson Waller and says he wants a decisive win. So at Vengeance Day, it's going to be the two of them in a steel cage match.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely feels, I think, this Vengeance Day... we're kind of paying off some feuds we've already got going, because we've had this Toxic Attraction thing for a while. We've had the Bron Breakker Waller thing for a while now. I definitely think Stand and Deliver is the one they're going to build these big matches to. Probably the Bron Breakker, Carmelo Hayes match, and hopefully a bigger opponent for Roxanne.
Yeah, I'm already kind of like not as interested in this next pay-per-view like whatsoever. I know it's supposed to be special because they're going back on the road. They're going to North Carolina. Cool. Already kind of not in the direction I'm super interested. To be fair, you know what? I think Braun and Waller in a cage could be pretty good. I'm still like, all right. I just maybe it's on me as like thinking we'd be going to something a bit better, a bit more exciting. Honestly, like WWE just seems maybe we're in this limbo. We're still just letting Sean do whatever he wants. It's not like he's gonna go Triple H takeover level on us, being like, oh yeah, I need to book Cora versus Mako and this and that. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're getting 2 members of Toxic Attraction versus Roxanne.
Yeah.
It's still this NXT like 2.0 that we're kind of in. But you know what?
But then,
it
like,
could be all right.
this is developmental. What
Yeah.
good is it having Mako
course.
who's proven? Like, if these are... Like, if a Gigi and JC are the kind of act that they want to move on a Raw or SmackDown in front of these arenas, you kind of have to book them on these arena shows.
And going back to you thinking like maybe they're holding off the bigger matches for Stand and Deliver, I that must be the only reason you're not doing Carmelo versus Bron Breakker. They're clearly not planning on bringing Braun up right away until after that Mania. So he'll lose the title and then show up on main roster. And Melo will be the flag bearer here in NXT. Like, there's no debate that this guy will be the champion this year. And I guess the same goes for Roxanne. Like, why book Roxanne versus, I don't know, like Cora, when you could book Roxanne Cora, the final, like, chapter, also at that show.
Yeah, exactly.
So it does make sense that they would wait. It just sucks because this pay-per-view seems just another TV show, really. It already sounds like it's not something to take a Saturday night off for.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what though? That being said, like tonight's episode, we were kind of frantic looking around like, oh, is WWE sold and all that? But we still paid attention to the show, and there were still little glimpses of wrestling, and they still managed to progress some storylines. And what we got, Axiom teaming with Apollo. That could be pretty cool. Trix definitely stepped it up in the ring. The Creeds possibly regaining Roddy. Hopefully, maybe that could be pretty cool. So yeah, I'm staying positive. Downside, not enough Chase University and Duke Hudson.
Yeah, you know, I have been positive on NXT recently. I do think it's been a bit more consistent, and I agree that Vengeance Day doesn't sound like the biggest show, but I am kind of I think everyone's been improving, and I think they are going in the right direction.
Yeah.
We do have some pieces of feedback on the Poisonrana Facebook group.
Yeah, hey, we have a Poisonrana Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, but there's a Facebook group you can find, the Poisonrana group, and we post up feedback there and memes and all sorts of fun stuff. But we'll read it here, including one. I'll read the first one from Dave Parker, who writes in. He says, I don't know what is worse, the current Vince saga or the ending to that title match. What a stinker. I think he's...
The Vince saga. The Vince saga's worse, Dave.
He then wrote in and said, just to make sure, it is the Vince saga. Yes, thank you. Thank you there, Dave. Thank you.
We go to Chris, who says, I've been dipping in and out of NXT for a bit, so I apologize if I'm not following this correctly. But is Scripps, the guy who was hacking and anonymously messing with NXT for a bit, now being stalked and messed with by a new mystery guy? Or is this anonymous NXT thing like the GTV thing from the Attitude Era?
Yeah.
Yes, we don't know, Chris. And also, the whole thing didn't make sense. Script had his name on the card he put in Mentz's bag. It wasn't going to be some big mystery. Side note, I'm pretty sure Booker T said it's an anomaly. It happens all of the time in regard to the rope popping out. That's not how anomalies work. True.
What? Sean writes in, last one here. He says, up and down tonight, too many wonky finishes, but I do like a lot of the stuff that was set up, especially the Battle Royale finish. Hopefully Vengeance Day is a lot better. And Sean's usually pretty positive on NXT, so maybe he wasn't feeling it as much with that lead into Vengeance Day. But yeah, that was your feedback. That's what you thought of NXT. That's what we thought of NXT. Oh boy, this whole show could be dated by the time you're listening to this.
Well, I think, yeah, like, there's only so much we can really talk about. Like, And we will be talking all about this on Sunday's Poisonrana show.
Yeah, I mean, by the time we do a show on our feed on Poisonrana Sunday afternoon, there'll probably be more stuff official to maybe talk about. But again, postwrestling.com for all the stuff with John and Wayne. I'm sure John will be talking about it.
John Pollock's going live with Brandon Thurston tomorrow, being Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Here we go,
on
right
this
here.
YouTube feed to talk all about all the breaking news, which is still kind of, you know, it seems like from all these people tweeting that maybe WWE has been sold to this Saudi Arabian company.
So El Generico is all elite? Like, really? I don't. What happened?
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, the fallout's going to be crazy with this, and certainly be watching it all week. But yeah, what a crazy day.
Yeah, maybe. Possibly a crazy day. What it looks like to be. So yeah, hey, by the time you're listening to this, everything could be dated. It could be real. It could be not real. It could be Disney. It could be NBC. It could be Live Golf.
But our NXT review will live forever.
We'll always be reviewing NXT. NXT TakeOver Jeddah. We need that as an upcoming NXT TakeOver show. Bring him back. If they could bring back the Ultimate Warrior. No, wait. They tried to do that, right? Who did they try to bring back? Yokozuna. They asked for Yokozuna.
Oh, they asked for Yokozuna, so they got... Was it Akibono?
Who knows who could come back to wrestling now? Eddie Guerrero is going to show up as a hologram or something in the future of wrestling. Who knows? Wrestling's crazy. And a reminder that if you don't like this potential news about WWE being sold, AEW every Wednesday night on whatever channel you watch it on, it can be your great alternative to WWE programming. Support your local independent wrestling companies.
Yeah.
Go to your local high school gym or whatever it is that they do it at and have a fun time. Those shows are more fun than WWE shows anyways.
They're super fun.
Yeah. We go to a lot of indie shows in Toronto.
Support local, guys.
Support local. Go to your indie wrestling shows.
Feds.
Yeah, why not? And report back to us. That's your goal in the next few months. Try out an indie show. Instead of buying a WWE shop order, buy a...
We'll be going to Demand Lucha next month. Go to that.
Yeah, go there. Yeah, go to all the local indie feds if WWE is something maybe you don't want to be supporting. But, I mean, it's wrestling. You're not going to go away from it. It's wrestling. But Vinnie Mac definitely leaving a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. So pour one out for Stephanie McMahon. She's all grown up. Pour one out for, I don't know, Triple H, maybe. Pour one out for WWE.
Yeah, pour one out.
Pour one out. Pour one out for everyone who hung out with us on the Post YouTube channel here today. Thank you, guys. We really appreciate you guys. We do this every Tuesday night after NXT goes off the air. We go live. But we do all these other podcasts, like we mentioned. Over on Poisonrana, we cover all the topics of wrestling throughout the week. We just did a Wrestle Kingdom review show with Karen Peterson. We have another one coming up this Sunday. This week on our free feed, I'm going to be releasing a free version, which we released a few months ago on our Patreon, but I'm going to give it to you for free. Best match ever, Io Shirai, with me, you, and Karen Peterson chatting all about the best of Io Shirai before her WWE run. So this was pretty sweet. We have the match listings and everything. So I'll put that on the Poisonrana feed for free. But you want to hear all the other stuff, patreon.com/Poisonrana. For only $5, you get access to like 500 shows. We do so many wrestling movie reviews, all that stuff. Go check us out and be our friend.
Do it.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, guys. Shout out John Pollock and Wei Ting for letting us be here on the feed. Can't wait to hear John and Brandon Thurston chat up about this story tomorrow. Thank you guys for listening. We love you. That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And no chance. That's what you got.
Then, now, forever.
Together.
Ahoy!
Fuck 'em.
Thank you, Vince.